Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Sporia Campaign. Last time, we continued using internal migrations to transform our Bersenthia region into a new bulwark of Weyrasporic population. Although we are depopulating it so severely to pull this off, we now have a enormous 84 cohort horde in the forests of Menno, suffering 9% attrition. It is wintertime, in fairness, but this is pretty extreme. I think they're drawing manpower from my manpower pool. I'm not 100% sure about this, but this does count as an army in most regards, and I think in that regard as well. So this is going to be slowing down our recovery of manpower for tyranny reduction. But, of course, we're doing a big project here, which really requires us to maintain this big horde. At least doesn't require it, but this is the easiest way for me to keep track of everything. And to some extent, because of just how many territories I'm working with, being able to keep things organized is worthwhile, even though it results in a slightly less efficient management of manpower. Ultimately, we do have now the province of Nuria Septentrionalis adjusted. We've got, aside from a couple of settlements with slave buildings, we have everything else shifted to Weyrasporic. And I think now I want to work on, let's see here. Yeah, now I want to continue working on Gomel, which I had a lot of Nurics in. In fact, I think I have enough to just move over right now. And I think I will do that. Although what I might actually do, let me move them over to Menno, do one more migration from Menno, probably when my stability increases, and then shift the horde over to the Androphagia area, where I have a bunch of pops that need to be migrated. And then I can hopefully go over and clean up the rest of the Eistian stuff over here. We still have a number of Eistians lingering around over here. This will essentially allow me to finish the kind of area over here in western Bersenthia before I move down and start working on Scythia with this horde. Okay, that all looks good. So let's go ahead and, first of all, into Menno, if we have the money available, which we may not. See what we can do here. So we need to move from Gomel. Move all the Nurics. We almost have enough. All right, that will be next month then. Okay, this is fine. How am I looking? Very poor health now. Okay. We're going to go straight into Rasa, who's also in poor health. If I had the money, I could actually have her seek treatment. I could force her to seek treatment. Or I guess I could purchase treatment for her. The way this is phrased is a bit confusing. I think what this does is it changes her scheme to seek treatment. I hope it doesn't change my scheme to seek treatment for her, because I do not want to go off of influencing stakeholders. Either way, let's resume. You think after all this time playing this game I'd know how these mechanics work, but learning Imperator Rome, not for me. I'd rather just flail around confusedly and then complain. That's the way of it. All right, let's get the last Nuric over here. Good, that's Gomel, now turned Sporic. And this place here actually has one more Nuric than I want here, so that's phenomenal. Let's see. I'm just gonna move. Oh, you know what? I could actually bring people over. No, it's just two Melanclanans over here from Zahamle. Alright, hold on. Maybe I do this in a slightly different way after all. Because these are both tribesmen. Okay, let me move them over. So, Zamle. Move him into Menno from Hrabiv. Okay. And then I need to move. Oh, I have a Bedinian over here too. Okay, you know what? Can I cross the river here? Can I move people from Sulnus? I really would like to just be able to do that. No. Okay. Great. I have to go. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. In Bajete, we're gonna start moving some people over to this Androphagia side of the Bersenthes. Borysthenes is how I should pronounce that, river, in preparation for migrations over here around the Minsk area. Okay, so from Sulnus, Why is there a tribesman here? I 100% for sure had 11 slaves here. Where did you come from? I disallowed promotion. What? Oh, my actual god. I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay. What is going on? I've got, like, a rogue, like, civil rights movement operating in these provinces, bringing people up from subjugation against my wishes. Where... You do not allow slave promotion. I don't know where... Oh, did a tribesman grow? Maybe someone left. I guess that's a fair alternative explanation. We do have tribesman growth around here, but it always seems to be paired with one less slave. So maybe they moved somewhere. I don't think they're allowed. Can slaves migrate naturally? Is that a phenomenon in this game? Hold on, let me find a migration territory. I don't think... Oh, they can migrate naturally. Okay, if it's... I don't know why I didn't know that. Okay, whatever. We need to get one more slave over to Sulnus from somewhere. And from somewhere is probably going to be from quite far away. Here we go, this is perfect. Okay, let's move them into Sorrow. Let's see. Alright, whatever, that's fine. Into Bajate from Sorrow. And then into Sulnus from Bajate. Okay, there we go. That is 2 sets of wood for sale. Please, please, do not promote. Do not become a tribesman when I'm not looking. Stay at that ratio. Unless, did I just... Okay, perhaps last episode, it's been a little while since last episode. Perhaps last episode, I actually was at 10... And all my complaints in the last couple of minutes were not accurate. But whatever happens, I have to proceed in this situation. Oh my gosh, it's so loud outside. I'm sorry about that. All right. I'm out of money already, so now we just gotta keep waiting. Who'd have thought peacetime would be so... headache-inducing. I'm just trying to min-max. I keep running into all of the problems of being an administrator of a vast, brutal tribal empire. Why can't I just have it easier than this? Alright, there we go. Now, this tribesman can be moved over here. Yeah, from Sulnus. Okay. And then, in Sulnus, what do we have now? I'm gonna need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 7 and 3 is 10. Hold on, 10, 9 and 9 is 18. I do need it to be 7, so send 3 Nuriks up to Bajate from Menno. Okay, now, let's see. So 9 is then, oh my gosh. Wait, did I send over too many? Hold on. Hold on. I'm losing focus here. Okay. We've got 7 Nuriks. 8 is more than 7. 7 plus 8 is 15. Then we need, okay. What I need is 1 more Nurik back from Bajate. Okay. And now, let me just deposit, not 84. Let me deposit 1 Sporic. Okay. What are we at now? 8. So if I add 7, that brings me to 9. That's perfect. Okay. I need to add 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That's perfect. 9, 8, 2, and 1. I figured it out in the long run. Okay. Now, back over here. You, two Nuriks, I'm going to move over to Sato from Bajate. Okay. And then, after this migration happens, I deposit one more Spork back here. In fact, let me just leave the one Spork here. You guys can head on over here now, but where to? I think perhaps Lepiel, because it's in between the 3 territories I'm going to be largely working on. So let's head over to Lepiel. Alright. That looks good. Yeah. I know, migration available. If you say so. Antipatrids want to trade with me. Dinah Minbataite died of a terrible fever at the age of 78. Okay, rest in peace, Dinah. We'll see who the new person ends up being. Okay. This is close enough. I just want to get this over with so I can shift over to the Lepiel area. Okay, I guess I didn't really need to leave one guy behind because they were... Yeah. Okay, you guys head over to Lepiel as well. And then once everyone arrives, I will try and do everything in one go, just so it's not as disorganized. I'm spending a fortune on doing all these movements, but again, being Sporia, it's really saving me a lot of money as I do it. This is why it was all worth it. Got this update. That is all fine. Keep sacrificing. Good. 48 tyranny now. Okay. Looks like we've got Ganoris Minbatitis is the new successor option over here. Not a lot of support. Successor is still a Rasa. That's fine. She's ailing. I think that's... Is that better than poor health or worse? I think it's probably worse than poor health. Not great. Okay. Saving up PI. On the... Let's do a quick check and see. Am I causing catastrophic problems anywhere specifically right now? Okay, not in Venetia. In Vestulia? No, Vestulia is under control. As is Scythia. I mean, under control because I'm whipping everyone all day long. But technically, control is maintained. Look at my Bersenthia population. Keep in mind, I currently have, like, hundreds and hundreds of thousands, I think, of people raised as migrators, and Bersenthia still has this completely insane... Like, this is, for some reason, just a super, super populated area of the world. I do not know how to explain that. This is not counting all of the pops currently raised as migrators. Just bizarre. I don't know how this is the case, but it is. Okay. I could also be doing 2 sets of these kind of migration micros at the same time, which would probably be more efficient, but it would just be... I'd be getting so confused trying to keep track of everything. Okay, let's first do a quick check on any current infrastructure to keep slaves for. Nothing around here. What about over here? What do we have? Okay, lumber camp. All right, that's a good start. Farm over here, even better. Let me go ahead and actually... I'm sure I could have done this before, but oh well. If I dwell on it, I will only suffer. Any other infrastructure around here? No. Okay. All right, let's see what we can do in Slutsk and Kapil. go into Capil first. Okay, well, first things first. Let me move into Smarhan. Specifically, the tribesmen from Capil. Okay, good. And then from Smarhan, I'll put those guys into Lapiel just now, just so I know that they're there. In fact, I'll put all the tribesmen that are not Weriswork. And then actually, from Smarhan, those slaves can go back to Capil. That's perfect. From Smarhan. There we go. 4. Okay, we're getting there. What do we need? 12. Okay, I likely do have enough spread around the whole province. Weriswork slave, that's fine. Menska's now actually... Did I already send people over here? Hold on. There's a lot more spork around here than I was expecting. Maybe I brought some people over here before. Maybe they've just assimilated over time. Not 100% sure how this happened, but either way. We actually do have quite a few slaves. So, Shirai. We do have a... I mean, I say we need to have spork tribesmen. I'm going to have so many spork tribesmen available, I don't need to worry about that at all. Okay, 10... And then Kremok. And there. Alright, good. Promotion's not allowed. Slutsk, we're going to need 11, allegedly. We'll see if it changes. Promotion's disallowed. So not from Capil, from anywhere else. Berezina. Nope. Okay, good. Mogilev. From there. Naliboki. That's fine. And Zavalachitsky. Okay. That will do for now. Did I have... No. Okay. But that is now 11. That's perfect. Okay. Okay, let's see here. I would like to build infrastructure here, but I don't have the money available. Okay, so now that I've done that, what do we have here? Oh boy, we've got just a huge mess is what we have. Okay, any more... There was no more infrastructure I could find. Let's prepare Zavalachitsky for a farm by sending the slaves from Lepiel over into Smarhan. Alright, into Zavalachitsky now, from Smarhan. Okay. And now, in Lehiel, what do we have? We got another split of 3, which means I think 9 Weriswork. Let's see. 8, and then that's 10. I can get just one more Nurik. Or something else. Fennec, that works too. Alright, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. Let me put in 4 Weriswork. What do we have now? So, can I get... Let's see, 2 more Nuriks? I'm now trying to min-max this, but I don't know if it's gonna... Hold on. How many Nuriks do I actually have around here? Maybe not that many. I have a few here and there. From Sato. Okay. And then... Any more... Androphasians. Okay. Melanclanians. That works. Okay, I can basically have anything that's not Nurik now. Okay. Next month. Okay. Now, let's see. You. And then, let's see. Can do one more Melanchthonian tribesman. There we go. That is a very, very efficient 6 sporic migration. We are getting 14 pops to be Wayrasporic from that. That is very nice, but we don't have enough stability to quite do this yet, so we'll keep waiting. In the meantime, let me actually go ahead and start redistributing sporic pops around here, just where needed, which I may not actually... You know, this place already has a lot of sporic pops, actually. I think I moved people over here recently. In fact, into Sado, let me send 1 extra sporic from Ryazna. Actually, I would like to use the slave somewhere else, so maybe in a different location. Okay, let me send the Sporic tribesman from Orientalis. Wait, no, that's the province name. What am I doing? From Gori. Okay, good. Alright, and then... Let's see... They keep sending slaves over towards Zavlachitsky. So let me move a bunch of slaves through Lepiel. So, Lunichno, send the slave over. And then, this place actually needs a Sporic tribesman. Which, let me just actually put one there manually like that. So take the Sporic from Lokomolsky, move him through. Krasnaya, the 2 slaves. There we go. That's all we can do for now. We'll move them through Lepiel when I get my next monthly tick. Alright. And then continue along with that. Let's see. Shlu. The slave and the slave. And then Gori as well, the 2 slaves. And that, I think, is actually all of that attended to. All those slaves now go into Smarhan from Lepiel. Almost. Alright. I want to keep waiting for stability anyways, but it's good to know. Near death. Okay, yeah, the end is near for Gunwaldis. Should be having a succession pretty soon here. Excellent conditions in Dekoye. Alright. Let's see. Ooh, okay, let me actually read this. Whether by happy coincidence, the blessings of the goddess of fortune, or just diligent management, for the past year, production in the settlement of Dekoye has far surpassed the predictions of local bureaucrats and administrators. While we could simply exploit these boons for short-term gain, some have suggested that this is an opportunity to study the organization of slaves in Dekoye, which is in Nuria Septentrionalis, who by all accounts are an unusually satisfied and productive bunch, and attempts to apply the lessons across the province of Nuria Septentrionalis. Alternatively, we could of course simply allow whatever fortune Dekoye enjoys to run its natural course without interference. Okay, so Nuria Septentrionalis is over here. Also, Rasa fell ill. Great timing. Dysentery. Great timing on that. Happiness here would be handy, but it's not critical. I think I'd like this one the best. This will hurt... Now, Gubja already has some loyalty problems, but this will only be a temporary issue, hopefully. I would like the money, though, imminently. I need that right now. In fact, I could use the money right now to build that farm I want to build. Yep, you know, honestly, this is the perfect moment to build this farm, so let me do that now. And then after the tick, we'll continue moving people over. Okay, and I moved all of those guys out. Actually, I have one more guy from Lepiel. Okay, and then all of those guys into Zavlichitsky from Smarhan. Okay. Now, Zavlichitsky, I can move the tribesmen out. What do I need once this is done? It's going to be either 10 or 12. We'll just move the tribesmen out for now, then wait and see what it is when it's finished. It's probably going to be 12, honestly. It's going to change. Okay, let's move the tribesmen to Smarhan in preparation. Zavlichitsky. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna keep waiting. Scythia's beating back Mila. Okay. Was Persis here before? I'm not sure if Persis was here. These guys are allied with the Seleucids? What is this timeline? I guess this is the Greek... no, this is the Persian one. What? Okay, this is a little questionable. Ooh, okay. Karga? Rebellion. Wow, Ptolemy. Look at this, is a huge rebellion. Not that it's super high quality land, but I'm actually really surprised Ptolemaics have a rebellion that large. Okay. Any other notable... Okay, yeah, Rome conquered a ton of Gaul. Yeah. Not ideal for me, but at least they're going in the other direction. If they were going into the Balkans, I'd be a little more concerned. And then let's just do a quick check. Okay. Qin is losing to Joseon? What? No way. There's no way that's real. What? How? Okay, that catastrophic fumble from Qin. This is... I understand that this could just be the start of the war and Qin is getting organized, but this is just completely absurd. Absolutely no explanation for Joseon, of all people, getting sieges in Qin. Do they not have forts? Maybe they don't actually have forts. Ooh, okay. That actually does kind of explain it. Come on, Qin. Step your game up, Qin. I've spent so much time and effort hyping you up as a big, scary country, and you keep acting in goofy ways, undermining my assessment. Can't have it. Okay, let's see. I can also do... Not that I have the stability free, but I could do one more change here. And in terms of what I would do... I mean, flat assimilation plus 30% should not be overlooked. Even with my strategy, it is still helpful, especially with the slave areas where I can't really reliably maintain a pop as a slave and also do my strategy because they turn into a tribesman. So like, let me go to like a slave location just for a quick example. So over here. That being said, it's a 30% increase to the base that's quite low. Although if I were to switch over to assimilation, it would become a lot better. I think for my strategy, that's just not really a priority. So I don't think getting oral tradition is super helpful. Closed society for the integrated happiness. I mean, a lot of my Werasporics are pretty much at the happiness cap. In fact, they are at the happiness cap. Even over here, they're at the happiness cap. So unless I lost some other source of tribesman happiness, which Sirna is currently providing and may soon, I could change from them. Let's see. Switching to Peronos might be the long-term, strategy. My civ level's not great anywhere, though, is the issue. We're already approaching the civ cap in a lot of my places. So it would only do so much. We do also have Putokos, which never hurts, but it's a pretty minor bonus, all things considered. Honestly, I'm not sure if either of these are critically useful. Then we do have this. Now, the manpower recovery speed, of course, has been useful for my tyranny strategy, but slave output 12% would actually help offset the loss of the slave output from having higher tyranny, though it only does so much, honestly. Of course, morale of armies would be quite nice, and maybe necessary long term for when I'm fighting Rome or the Parthians. I don't know. I don't think I really need to change either of these laws. The other option is I could change one of these, but I don't think, like, 20% commerce income is still better than coin minting. And I can't get access to this stuff down here because I don't have any positive centralization. I could also encourage syncretism might actually be more useful now than omen power. I think, honestly, it would be more useful than omen power. So I might actually change one of my previously selected laws up here. Tribesman output I do think is better than national tax. But I think I may switch human sacrifices to syncretism. The sacrifice mechanic is fun, but I don't actually have enough prisoners right now to reliably do this. I think this will help me quite a bit in stabilizing my country. Now, I know I'm currently trying to turn everyone from being unintegrated cultures or even from the same culture group to being Wera, but this is just to help me keep things together in the meantime while I work on this. This is such a long and sort of permanent project. Okay, I think I probably will go for that, but I need to have more stability, which means I won't be going for it super soon, because I am too busy spending all my stability every single month. Okay, let's see. How much longer? I just did this recently, 512. I don't really know what to spend my political influence on, to be honest. I guess I can just bank it up. It's not the worst thing to bank it. Oh, you know what? It is good that I'm banking it, because I'm about to change all my governors when I do the transition. If Rasa survives, I'm not sure actually what to expect now. But either way, let's just deal with it as we get to it. Let's do at least one more migration now, and then we let our stability recover. Okay. All right. Let's see. So what do we need over here? Actually, I have a lot of pops I need to move over. Lots of Phoenix. Okay, over here, what do we have? This is actually technically Sporic, because it has a Sporic majority of slaves. That's funny. Okay, we need one more Sporic. So two more Sporic. No. 1, 2. So two more Sporics. And then where's the other one? It's Istian and Nuric over here. Okay. Okay, we have 50,000 plus. I think I may have said 100,000 earlier, but I actually can see the number. It's 53,000 men, which is absurd. All right, these guys are gonna be eating this forest dry at this rate. Okay, let's see. I still need to move more over. Let's set up Lepiel again. Oh wait, I need to move one Spork tribesman down here. Unless I have an extra Spork tribesman somewhere. No. I do have an extra Spork slave, though. How did I miss that guy before? Strange oversight. Okay, let's... where was he? Oh, he's right there. Let's actually move him through here, from Chivusi over to Ryazna. Or from Ryazna to Chivusi. And then I'm just going to move him over to Zavlachitsky preemptively, assuming shenanigans with the required amount. It's going to increase to 17 base, then become 12 with the modifier, because this game hates me. All right, into Slutsk you go from Chivusi. And then into Zavlachitsky from Slutsk. All right. Good. Keep it here. Mild winter. All right. And I need this Freeman to leave or demote. Okay, that's fine. Demotion's fine. I guess I will get to 12, to more than I need likely there, but that's fine. Okay, and then let me send one migrator down here, and then we'll move that tribesman out. We'll start moving some of the tribesmen out now as well. So from Mogilev, and from Komolskoy, and from Sado. Okay, good. And then we're going to have our next Omen. Is this also a... It is not. Okay, that's fine. Not that I want to go to war right now. I got plenty else to worry about. All right. 1st of January, 510. Do possibly the last sacrifice to Vilkos Genwaldus will do. He's probably laying in bed, dying right now. Well, may as well do some of that. Continue lowering the tyranny. It's sort of like the first chief of Sporia, Skurgurdus. He accrued all of this tyranny, and then Genwaldus spent his lifetime working away at reducing the tyranny, although he only sort of brought things halfway. But it still was a very monumental effort. Not to mention his high charisma also led to further tyranny loss on top of the sacrifices. So good work, Genwaldus. That's almost more impressive in a way. He also completed the conquest. They were not finished under our first chief, it should be recalled. Who is... Yeah, you're... Okay, yeah. I need to see when Parthia goes to war with somebody. Okay, what was I doing? Omen. Okay, I could switch Sirna, although I don't really want to spend the stability, frankly. But let's see what the options are. Actually own this holy site already. Interesting. I mean, this would... It doesn't hurt, right? Fort maintenance is good. But I think all things considered. All things considered. Paranos is limited value right now. Now, without Sirna, what are we looking at? Okay, it's not actually at 100% everywhere. And let's think about this. The main reason I have so much is not from centralization. Where? Hold on. Yeah. Oh yeah, 10% from Sporia. That's right. Let me just go for Sirna again. This is fine. Well, I could go for Vilkos just as a safety thing. And the question is, in the next 5 years, who's attacking me? Definitely not Kirochia. Maybe Scythia when they finish with Mila. They might be a bit confident at that point. I'm actually a little concerned about a Scythian attack. Now, I'm prepared with my Scythian wall, the expanded Scythian wall, but it could happen. And having the extra morale would be nice, especially if I don't raise all of my levies, which I don't really want to. That being said, this is only useful in that scenario. I don't plan to go to war in the next 5 years. I'm going to continue basically just doing this, which I know this may be boring for a lot of people, but this is genuinely the most valuable thing I could possibly be doing with Sporia right now. Our internal migrations, reorganizing my country, because I've conquered this vast swathe of lands in Eastern Europe, but it's all unproductive, it's full of unrest. What I'm doing is I'm transforming this into my core, like one migration at a time, right? There's no abstract coring mechanic in this game. You have to do it yourself, and that's basically what I'm doing here by force, essentially. So I think all things considered, there is an argument for switching one of these and therefore not grabbing Sirna now, but do I switch it right now? I don't have the stability to. I could go for the ruler popularity gain, and especially with a succession happening, it could be quite nice, as higher ruler popularity, very, very critically, and this is often, I think, overlooked in my campaigns, ruler popularity for the tribal chief equates to a huge clan chief loyalty bonus. This, I think, has actually been an issue with my clan chief loyalty, or a cause of clan chief loyalty problems before that I've not really fully diagnosed correctly. So I think perhaps plus 0.10% could actually be helpful. However, it's not that much. And this, well, let's go for Putokos. Let's give this a try. I think I have enough happiness right now. Although I guess in fairness, all of the tribesmen that are not Weira are being affected by that, and it's more noticeable. So like over here, for example, it is having a more significant effect. Let's do a quick comparison point. So in terms of demographics, I've got 510 tribesmen, and I've got 515 sporks, some of whom are slaves, nobles, citizens, and freemen, most of whom are probably tribesmen. I can't see it on a... I can't, like, combine the graphs to see exactly, I don't think. Yeah, of course not. So a lot of my tribesmen are probably spork, but some of them aren't. And possibly 1 to 200 of them aren't. I'm not 100% sure what the number might be. Let's go for... yeah... let's try Putokos. Let's give this a try. I want to see... I like the PI bonus, right, within the limited PI I can get in this campaign. Then again, is there another god in this section? Yeah, Lipa, who I've had before, for the pop happiness. Ooh, if only you were Weira. I mean, I could switch one of these deities to a different category, or a different religion. I don't need to have all Weira gods, but it would hurt the Weira happiness, although I don't need necessarily. This is another idea. I never thought about this. I could diversify. I mean, I'm basically, like, who else in this game is Weira in terms of a state religion? I don't think anybody else is Weira. I'm the only Weira country that has... I mean, other people may have Weira pops here and there, but I am the only one who is like, Weira is my national religion. I can just decide to make some changes to this religion. I don't need to maintain a strict Weira pantheon. I could bring in other gods and do some, you know, combination stuff. But the issue is, as I convert everyone to be Weira, which is the long-term goal, those gods will lose... I'll lose access to them, right? I'm fairly sure I'd have to actually maintain the religious populations that give me those gods to then have them be in my pantheon. So I think it's better to continue staying strict Weira, even though there's just so few options here, honestly. Do I have any food issues anywhere? Pretty much no, and I'm not even close in most places. Let's go for Putokos. The fluttering of wings and melodious birdsong announce the arrival of regal Putokos, who many times takes the shape of a soaring eagle. Spreading his wings and floating on the drifting currents, he is favored by the ruling class, hoping to emulate his natural authority. All right, popularity gain it is. Okay, it does help with reducing the decay at his high popularity, but he has a lot to be popular for. And that is that. I can't do this right now. Let's proceed. Actually, first, no, yeah, let's proceed. I'm not doing any more. I'm not doing any more of that right now. Okay, you go there. Speed 3. Okay. And then, from Chavusi into Lepiel. Okay, that is now all Sporic. And then into Smarhan. From however you pronounce that, I'm not even gonna try, honestly. Actually, the Icean slave can go somewhere else. Where do they go, though? Well, let's move him to Smarhan for now. And then the Nurik slave as well, and Berezino. Okay. Good. And then what is going on over here? Lots of extra types here. You know, why don't I build a lumber camp in Minsk? I think I have enough slaves around here to pull this off. Yeah. So into Smarhan, let's first send from Berezino. the, let's see here, the tribesmen, and then into Minsk from Berezino. Let's send the slaves. Okay. Over here, let's send the Istian from this place, Nalaboki. Okay. And from Sharai as well. You know what? How's my Splendor doing? Okay, we're halfway to another one of these. I don't know when the ages change. I should probably know this by now, but I continue to not know for sure. Maybe 550? Not 100% sure what it might be. I would probably just do Noble Conquest again. I think it adds another 10% reduction. Okay, where was I? Sharai, that's right. Okay, nice. And then this Spork tribesman can actually come up here now because I don't need him in Minsk anymore. All right, and then into Minsk, let's send in all the slaves, except from Smarhan. Wait, no, from Smarhan specifically, yeah. Thinking of somewhere else. Okay, not from Kapil, not from Slutsk, not from Zavolichitsky. Okay, that's all we can do for now. Let's send, let's see, slaves up here. So into Plisa from Jagli, okay. From Guta, send you. Actually, hold on. Let me, before I do all that, so we need. From Plisa. Okay. Istian will send this way from Plisa, or from Guta to Plisa, and then into Lepiel from Plisa. Then, okay, we're out of money. This is why I want more money, because I'm running out frequently. All right, succession is imminent. Literally any day it could happen. Hopefully when I start playing as her, I can seek treatment for free, or maybe at a discount or something. Okay, so we'll keep moving slaves later. Okay, move pop. Sporic. Let's see, okay, 1, 2, 3, because I moved the slave, 4, 5, 6. All right, that's pretty easy. And then we'll split them. And then I'll move them after these guys get deposited first. Okay, these places are still trending. Okay, we almost have Emmadokia back. I'm very excited for that. All right, let's split you all up. You go there. 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 And you go there. Okay, that's everyone. Colonization. Spread of ideas from Ptolemaics. All right, sounds good. All right, all of you settle over here to then free up these territories to send over their non-Werasporics. Okay, into Plissa everybody's going to go. So from, let's see here, Yelnia will send the 2 slaves. So the slaves are going to end up being sent to Minsk, and everyone else is going to head to Lepiel for the migration from Brazla. That guy's going to Minsk. From Zvirkos, You will be headed to Lepiel. Narachansky, you're headed to Minsk. Izha, we have a few people in Izha. You're headed to Minsk, and then you two are headed to Lepiesk. Lepiel. And then Diagili, the Fennec, will be headed to Lepiel. Here it is. Okay, now into Lepiel. Actually, first into Smarhan. Let's send all the slaves over from Plisa. Actually, Plisa could be a mine too. So what does Minsk still need? Oh my god. Okay, this is 6 reduction. So this actually should be 11, reliably so. Okay, so we need 7 more slaves. Okay. So that's 3 from Plisa, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, into Minsk from Smarhan. This could also be, yeah, eventually it will be a vegetable farm when I have money, which I don't currently. Of course, I need to wait one more tick, because why not? Alright, good. Alright, into Smarhan. Now you go. Good. Now we're going to be ready to get the lumber camp built when we have more money. And this time I will not forget to click that. There we go. Please stay there, please. Alright, let's see. And then from Plisa, what do we need here? Okay. Plisa. The slave can just stay there for now. Send over the Phoenix. I guess we'll, you know what, we'll send the slave over too. I don't want to bother dealing with that. Okay, so now we can add, let's see. Let's add 5 sporks and see where we are. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 16. Alright, who wants to... Oh, Smarhan as well has a bunch of... Yeah, moves from Smart... That's perfect. From Smarhan, the non-sporks are moved over. Wait for next month. Alright, keep waiting. Alright, 1st of May. Okay, Smarhan, let's see. This is perfect. Istian, okay. This is, yeah, this is fine. I could perhaps go for 1 less Sporic, but I don't have the, I don't really have the population to do too much more complex stuff over here. Let me get the migration going just to clear this all out. Alright, good. You rejoin in Lepiel. Okay. Now, all of the heavy pop centers are planned slave locations around here. This has all been cleared out. Good. And I think we now want to possibly move over here and complete some long-awaited migration. What? Why? Oh, you know what? Oh, right, because of that. I need more slaves over here. Right, I don't really have a lot of slaves. Actually, okay, let me just quickly attend to this. Do I actually have perhaps some additional slaves I could send over? Let's see here. Infrastructure around here. We do have a farm here we could fill up too. But let me get the fish first. This fish place has been waiting for slaves for like 50 years, 75 years even. Okay. Any additional slaves I can shuffle over? Yes. Where are you coming from? From here. Okay, that works. Oh my gosh, it works. Alright, what do we need here? I need these tribesmen to leave. I'm going to move these tribesmen, these Icean tribesmen, over to Carbonia for now. In fact, while I'm over here, I wish I had more money so I could just do this all at once. But this is, I just need to move 2. These tribesmen who have appeared through spontaneous means, I don't know where they came from. I'm pretty sure they were slaves before, but we'll move them to Carbonia for now. Now we wait. Now, the new departure point, I think will be possible. No, not Grzutz, because that's the capital. Maybe Zagares? That would probably be, yeah, that would work. Let's head over there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. We've made quite a bit of, it may not seem like it, but we've done a lot of work in the last couple episodes to address all this. There's still more work to be done over here, for sure. But I want to get the north shored up before I then turn my attention over here. That's just how it's worked out, at least. Alright, succession should be imminent now, frankly. Alright, sacrifice to Vilkos, yep, keep it going. My tax economy is definitely being hindered a bit by the loss of slave output, but all the other reasons to get rid of tyranny are much more important, so I think it's ultimately for the best I keep this going. It's insane. 50. Ooh, oratory perk. Alright, he gives some skill points to his children. Or is that all children in my country? That might be all children in my country. I guess I'll just grab that for the sake of it. Oh, I should have perhaps grabbed this. No, it's only when he's the leader, I think. So, that's fine. The succession is literally any day now. I'm not expecting too much more of Genwaldus, sadly. 83, though, is wild. That's a very, very old Spork man. He's made it to the deepest twilight of life at this point. Okay. And then, I don't know why I sent them to Carbonia if I guess I didn't realize I was putting them there. So let's move them now to here from Carbonia. Okay, move the Istians and then move them into here and start collecting the Istians, right? So from Carotia Australis. Okay. Now, slaves. Move in slave. Is that a Fennec noble? Huh? Where did you come from? Okay. What is I okay, all right. What? I'm actually offended. What are you doing here? Get out of here. Stinking up my unrest. Oh my god, this unrest is insane. Holy crap. You need to demote immediately. What are you doing not demoting? God. Okay, you know what? Change of plan. We are going to be migrating from Carbonia. I need to get this Fennec noble the hell out of here. This guy's ruining Carbonia with his presence. I'm shifting my entire policy just because of this. Did this guy migrate over from Carotia? How bad is Carotia that this Fennec noble is like, you know what? I'm gonna fare better in Sporia than Carotia. I can't. I swear to God, I can't. All right, so I guess we'll I just moved him over. God. 2 more layers. All right, it's fine. It's fine. We're doing what we got to do. We're doing what we got to do. All right, it's not that expensive. It's worth it to get rid of a Fennec noble. It's worth it. All right, move the Icelands back over here and then back over here. All right, and then actually, while I am looking, let's move the slave over. Move the slave down here from Carbonia. And then while I'm at it, let me actually move all the slaves that I have got over. So that's 5. What did I need? I need 12. Okay, well, let's bring 2 more into here. Surely I have 2 more. I do. From here and from here. And you know what? Before you go, I may have some of you resettle in the area. From Pagramancio. It's kind of an Italian-sounding name. Interesting. Of course, that's all I can do currently, but after the tick, I can do a little bit more. All right, from Ribonia. There we go. Extra fish from Rabonia Occidentalis. At long last. I think I've been waiting to put more slaves in here. I said 75 years. It's not even been 75 years. It's been 60 years now, if I remember correctly. I think this game starts in 450. Pretty sure that's when it starts. Yeah, that seems right. Okay, either way, this place has finally got extra slaves. At long last. Took such a long time. Alright, Istian goes up here to head into Carbonia. That's not the button. Prague, Parg. What is it called? Oh my gosh. Oh, this isn't a different... Oh my gosh, of course it is. Alright, Zagares. Let's see. Okay, you know what? First things first. Let's actually figure out what's going on here. So, we need one... Actually, just one. Although perhaps I don't even need one. Yeah, you know what? Let's move from Azvejos. One Spork tribesman. Okay, good. Any interface, please. That is actually fine then. And then I need one Spork tribesman in there to move the slave out. And one Iceton tribesman up here from that place. Alright, and then up to here. That'll be all of my money for the month. Okay. Whew. And then let's see. I need... And then one ice team as well. Ah, of course. Okay. I will need 1, 2, 3, just 3. These 3 places here. Okay. That's fine. You guys continue north, I guess. Parthia's at war again? With whom? Okay, they're fighting some of the guys over here. Bactria survives? I didn't notice that. Alania is still fighting. Oh, these guys are fighting Lek. Where? Oh, over here? Okay, sure. Should be pretty quick. Armenia is fighting the Ariarathids. Alright. Scythia is fighting Midla still. I think they're going to win soon. Most likely. Tearing down fortifications. Our scouts report that the government of Osismia is having acute financial difficulties, and in a desperate attempt to save every coin possible, they've begun the process of dismantling some of their border fortifications. 3 stability for that? Really? Okay. I'll take it. I'm not going to complain about that. That's a little unexpected. Untiring devotion. Thank you. Let's split up. You go there, and you go there. You make 100 billion% sure it's settled in place. Okay. Alright. Settle there and there. Okay, and now into Zagares we shall send... Okay, from Paiserii, the Istian. From Aristava, the Istian. From Borodinskoye, the Istian. And the Spork slave as well for now. From Azvejos, the Istian. How is this list organized? I don't understand. From Zirnajai, the Istian. There you are. Okay. And then the Spork slaves I'll move also, so I can just reorganize them for some other purpose. Okay. Chuchuvenu. Send over the slave. Timofivo. Send over that slave. And that is that for this province. Now, do I have any more infrastructure up here somewhere I could put some slaves into? don't think so. I do have a farm down here. That is probably a good place for them. I'll move them next month when I have the money, which of course I don't have much of now. Okay, let's move what we can into Bauska from Zagreus. There we go. Perfect. Whew. I can retire him? Really? Why am I allowed to retire him? I mean, I'm not going to, but that's interesting that this option's available. I didn't think tribal chiefdoms could retire the leader. I wonder what scenario. I need to look in the code, or on the wiki maybe. I'll start with the wiki, honestly, and then I'll look in the code if I can't find it, which likely I won't find it. I need to figure out what toggles that as an option or triggers that as an option, because that is very handy if I can retire people voluntarily. Okay, what do we have now up here? Alright, so 5 and then 1. Okay, so over here, let's see. We got a lot to work with over here. So into Daugava. So actually first, let's see here. So we're going to have, let's see, one there. Any extra Spork tribesmen currently up here? No. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I need 4. Okay. Alright. And then I'll get everyone moved after these guys are located. Okay. Let's see, so it was here, 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 and here. Get these guys located, then we'll take stock. Alright, keep the sacrifices going. Meeting of the clans. Oh, alright, that is Genwaldus. He regrew all of his hair at the end. Died from the advanced stages of a venereal disease at the age of 83. Tribal chief. We now have Rasa ruling the nation. 6555. Not amazing, but my options were never quite substantial. Meeting of the clans. After the death of Genwaldus Ganmantitus the Sarmatian, the clan chiefs of Sporia met to elect a fierce and strong leader to shepherd our people in these ever-changing times. After much deliberation, Rasa Mantualtaita was installed in a lavish ritual, to which all clan dignitaries were invited. Many, however, were discontent, hoping to see themselves or someone more familiar at the head of the table. We must work towards mending rifts and bring together all chiefs for the goodwill of Sporia. Alright, starting things off great with an absurd 15 loyalty loss on everybody. I love Imperator Rome without any possible conditions. Alright, let me just quickly finish this up here. Okay, Viku, let's send over the non-Spork tribesmen. Jekab pills as well, do the same there. Alright, and then Garais as well. Running out of time here. Do that. Okay. And then Grizoots as well. There we go. And then Sartu, almost out of money as well. And then Palien. Where are you? Here you are. And then Beerzu. There we go. That'll have to be it for this episode. We're basically out of time. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.